Hey everybody, Alan Brocken, the cool dad everybody's talking about, closing out how you too might be eligible for the prestigious cool dad everybody's talking about award. So when I think about this award and all the things I went into it and the story I've been sharing, I kind of wanted to share with you some things you might do practically in your own life and with your own family to really kind of pull that out and have the kind of relationship I have with my kids. I realize you're probably overworked and overwhelmed, right? We're in this crazy world with all kinds of stuff and going on that's hard to understand. And so how are you going to navigate all of this well, for your kids and your family? And I think, the first thing we got to do is look at a couple of things for yourself to be able to pull off what I'm talking about. And I think the big thing is you got to put on your oxygen mask before helping others, right? And so whether that's through, formal exercise, a lot of you might be thinking, breathing, that's cardio, that's running on a treadmill. Not necessarily. I mean, part of the thing is just any kind of sport or activity, or even just, when you are home or when you're with the kids, some good old roughhousing will get the air flowing and you've got that oxygen. But if you're really not sure about it, pick up an activity that's focuses on breathing. I mentioned archery earlier. Like, breathing is a whole thing in it, and they teach you how to breathe, right? But you gotta get some oxygen one way or another just to clear your mind of bad chemicals and be ready to engage. Like, it'll wake you up. The other big thing is, when I say wake up, you gotta solve sleep, okay? Like, sleep is super important, and actually that was one of my big challenges earlier on in this whole journey, was I did not have sleep solved. I had the worst time sleeping in a hotel room. I don't know what it was, but I would argue that not being able to sleep in a hotel room was, bad for my family, bad for my career, because I was sleep deprived. And it wasn't about the hours necessarily, just literally I couldn't sleep in a hotel room. So you got to solve sleep, and quite frankly, a 10-minute power nap using the Ranger method. I'll show you a video on that at some point, like how I get a power nap if I have the chance, if that makes sense. But you've got to figure out a sleep schedule. You got to get rest because your mind needs it. The other thing is, take some time for some deep thoughts. I mean, one of the things I did get out of all this driving was I had what they call windshield time, right? As I'm going between clients, I had time to think about things. I think I heard unprecedented times, like 5 million times over the last couple of years. And, the reality of it is, as different as the world is and as chaotic as things are, the world has gone through lots of stuff, right? The Great Depression and World War II were some unprecedented times. Crazy stuff was going on, yet fathers raised children and they all lived on together. So take some time looking for some deep thoughts, whether that's from the Bible if you're a person of faith, or from great people. There are people in the past who've overcome great adversity. Find those deep thoughts, find those things from the past that can give you inspiration for the future. Now, for your families, I've got some great stuff for you. One of them is the dad jokes. Find a joke or a funny story to tell them. It breaks the ice and takes the edge off, especially if you're in this kind of call situation. That quick laugh at the beginning can ease everybody's stress level just a little bit. And even if it's a face-palming groan because it was a really bad dad joke, there's still some oxygen going on there, so that's probably good. Just be aware that not too many dad jokes in a row, because then they tune out, and so it's a fine line between you've said the right number of dad jokes to let everybody know you're the dad, and one too many to just be annoying and they want to check out. So you got to figure that out for your family. But a dad joke's a good thing for you. The other thing that's great, and one of the things I found, I mentioned looking at my kids' interests. If you can find other kids who are interested in that thing or have done a great thing in that area, they love it. They love hearing about the child that won, some award for their environment project or whatever it may be that they're into. And it also kind of inspires them, right? Like, it inspires them that, hey, that 12-year-old did a thing, and maybe I could do that thing. Then, for me as a Christian, the last important part of this is really you need to take some time to focus on God's word to share with your family, right? Whether it's a devotional or reading through the Bible in a year or just memory verses, something that brings that foundation back of your faith to share with your children It's a great way to connect and to help pass on what you know to be true. And it overall, I think it also just sort of binds the family together around a common value system. So these are my quick tips on things you can do to help better connect with your family. I hope you've enjoyed this story about how I won my most prestigious award. And check the channel back. I'm going to be doing some stuff regularly, just to help jog your mind and prep you to connect with your family. Calling it the Daily Dad Word. I'm a dad and I got some words, and so you might be out today. You might just not have another word left. You've used them all on your clients or customers or wherever. You just don't have another word. You can borrow some of mine. So talk to you later.